What if I told you there are places in the world where time seems to have stood still, not in a museum, but in real, living communities, tucked away from the rush of the 21st century? Today, we're journeying deep into the rugged heart of Afghanistan, to the remote highlands of the Hazaragit region. Here, nestled among breathtaking but unforgiving mountains, are Hazara villages that feel like they've been forgotten by time. Imagine waking up not to an alarm clock, but to the first rays of sunlight cresting over towering peaks. There are no highways here, no constant hum of traffic. The roads are often just dirt tracks, carved into the mountainside, sometimes impassable for months during the harsh winters, when snow blankets everything in a thick, white silence. For the people here, life is a rhythm dictated by the seasons, not by the clock. The Hazara people have a long and often tragic history in Afghanistan. For centuries, they've faced persecution and hardship, which has pushed them further into these isolated mountain strongholds. But this isolation has also preserved a way of life that has vanished from most of the world. It's a life of incredible resilience, community, and a deep connection to the land. Let's step into one of these villages. The houses are not made of concrete and steel, but from the very earth they stand on. They are traditional mud brick homes, called kalas, often built in clusters that form a small fortress. These thick walls provide insulation against the biting cold of winter and the scorching heat of summer. Inside, life revolves around a central room, where families gather to eat, talk, and share stories around a stove that provides both warmth and a place to cook. Farming isn't done with giant tractors here. Instead, you'll see farmers guiding oxen to plow their fields, just as their ancestors did for generations. They cultivate terraced plots of land that cling to the mountainsides, growing potatoes, wheat, and bean staples that can survive the short, growing season and high altitude. Every harvest is a celebration, a testament to their hard work and a promise of survival through the coming winter. Water is life, and nowhere is that more true than here. It's a precious resource, channeled from mountain springs and melting snow through ancient irrigation systems called dewey. These are intricate networks of small canals, carefully maintained by the entire community. Managing the water is a collective responsibility, a system built on cooperation and trust, because everyone's survival depends on it. Daily life for women in these villages is a testament to their strength and skill. They are the heart of the household. Their days are filled with tasks that have been passed down through generations of mothers and daughters. They milk the cows and goats, churn butter, and make curate, a type of dried yogurt that preserves milk for the long winter months. They are also master weavers. On simple, wooden looms, they create stunning carpets and gilams, their fingers moving with a practiced grace. Each pattern tells a story, a vibrant expression of their culture and identity, woven with threads dyed from local plants and minerals. These crafts are not just a hobby. They are a vital source of income, a way to turn their artistry into something that can support their families. Children here grow up with a freedom that's hard to imagine in a modern city. The mountains are their playground. They helped with herding the sheep and goats, their laughter echoing through the valleys. But their future is uncertain. Access to education is a major challenge. Schools are few and far between, and often lack the most basic resources. A teacher might be responsible for multiple grades in a single room. Yet, the desire to learn is incredibly strong. You'll see children practicing their lessons on a small slate board, their eyes filled with a hope for a future beyond the mountains. Community is everything. When a family needs to build a new house or harvest their crops, the whole village comes together to help. This tradition of ashar, or a collective work, is the social glue that binds them. There's a powerful sense of solidarity in a place where there are no official emergency services. Your neighbors are your first responders, your support system, and your extended family. Celebrations are a time for the entire community to come together. Weddings are multi-day affairs filled with music, dancing, and feasting. The sounds of the dambura, a traditional two-stringed lute, fill the air as storytellers and poets recite ancient tales and verses. These events are a vibrant reminder of their rich cultural heritage, a joyful defiance against the hardships they face. But we must not romanticize this way of life. It is incredibly difficult. Healthcare is almost non-existent. A simple illness can become a life-threatening emergency when the nearest clinic is a day's journey away over treacherous roads. Winters are brutal, and food scarcity is a constant worry. The people here are not living in the past by choice. They are living with the consequences of decades of conflict, neglect, and isolation. Despite these immense challenges, what you find in these Hazara villages is not despair, but an extraordinary spirit of endurance. You see it in the weathered face of an elder, his eyes holding the wisdom of a lifetime. You see it in the smile of a child who finds joy in the simplest of things. And you see it in the tight-knit bonds of community that allow them to face every hardship together. Their connection to their land, their culture, and each other is a powerful force. It's a way of life that is both fragile and incredibly strong. As the modern world slowly begins to creep closer, with the arrival of a weak mobile signal or a solar panel to power a single light bulb, these communities stand at a crossroads. How do you embrace the opportunities of the future without losing the traditions that have defined you for centuries? This is a question many indigenous communities around the world are facing. For the Hazaras of these remote mountains, the path forward is uncertain. They need access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities, but they also need the world to recognize and respect their unique culture and way of life. By sharing their story, we're not just looking at a forgotten corner of the world. We are looking at a reflection of our own shared humanity. We're reminded of the importance of community, the resilience of the human spirit, and the value of a life lived in harmony with nature. These villages, seemingly lost in time, have so much to teach us about what it means to be connected to our past, to our planet, and most importantly, to AAH. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. If you found this story as moving as I did, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more stories from the unseen corners of our world. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. See you next time.